Hi, my name's Greg. I'm here above Crofton on Mount Erskine with the rainbows. And I want to talk to you about rainbow and how to kind of extend the promise of the rainbow family of love and light's prophecy. And that is to create federated villages. And I figured out a way that if you get away from cars, you can live close to the cities as villages, at least as small villages, with a federation that supports each village. So that people can have a crew in life, a real team, and be in nature, but close to, being able to make real money, have medical assistance, and deal with educational institutions if you want, etc. Where we can be outside of society but still able to affect it. And so this is for people who don't want just their own little life, but you want to be a part of a team with a purpose. And that starts with consensus. How do we govern ourselves? Back in 1995, 96, I worked on the first founding conference of the Global Eco-Village Network in Findhorn, Scotland. And we were always so obsessed with the what, like how do you get rid of your shit? Is it solar aquatics or is it composting? Or, do you piss on your cardboard to build your soil along with your, right? And is it straw bale or cob? And it was always this real fascination with the technology of the how we can make and build the eco-village. But really we found since then, quite universally in the decades since, that it's about the how. It's about how we do our culture and govern ourselves in a just and fair way where everyone feels enfranchised. And so I think consensus is the way in small groups below about 40 people. And I think consensus, as Rainbows used it, at least in smaller groups, is the way to go. So we all know how to do that to some extent, perhaps, if you've lived in Rainbow before. But the purpose is to make things scale and make it long term. So the Rainbow Gathering is not just this flash in the pan of your life, and then you have to go back, you're stretched out between the Babylon bullshit world and the rainbow. So that we can actually live this way without being corrupted by capitalist modalities. And more than that, once we federate all the rainbows and the gatherings or our villages, which are, because they're secluded and not based on cars and huge parking lots, and we can live in the same and stay in the same places for a long time, have more stability than most people trying to rent and pay mortgages and build their careers and like moving from this job to that. Way more stability than normal people can hope to achieve these days. I mean, even here in BC, under the rainbows, people who own their houses are paying the mortgages to the banks. They're moving the average transaction time, the average ownership period between change in hands of a property is 2.6 years. Really no more than 2.5 years. So even people who own their houses have no stability. And how do you build community? Join the Lions Club or do anything meaningfully purposeful with your life when really you're just hopping from job to job and house to house. Living from pillar to post, we all are. We're all peasants. It's serfdom. But serfs back in aristocratic times had more rights than we do. You had rights to take your chattel and the materials, the building materials you'd accrued on the Lord's land. Not so much anymore. And so Federated villages is this idea that leads into a federation of participatory cooperatives, and that's a new type of cooperative I've devised with a couple of lawyers, so that you can have an advanced participatory multi-stakeholder co-op with an advanced share structure, so all the members don't have to pay taxes, like a corporation has an advanced share structure. You can have a high democracy in the co-op membership where you can't buy votes, but where you have an advanced share capital structure, an investment structure. And that's to realize a participatory economy, participatory economics, or PARECon by Michael Albert, who is a Chomsky protege, a protege of Chomsky from MIT in the 60s. And I think it's our only hope. Participatory economics is just this. It's balanced rotation of roles so that everyone does a mix of conceptual and manual labor, so that you get no professional, managerial, or coordinator class that forms, where they monopolize all the information, the decision-making skills, the social networking skills and networks themselves to control the governance of something, right? If you let a certain class of people monopolize the skills, the social skills, the intellectual skills by which they can make decisions, then it doesn't matter if you have everyone with a vote. No one has the ability, very few people have the ability or the opportunity to be a part of decision making. Then we have say proportionate to stake. And that says that insofar as something affects you, you get to participatorily affect the decision. So if the issue is daycare in a neighborhood, and you have a mother with 4 kids, and you have to have meetings to decide how childcare is going to be in the neighborhood, and you have an 18-year-old boy who's like, hey, I'm pretty interested in looking after kids, helping raise kids. He has less stake than the mother with four kids. So he can come to the meetings, the 18-year-old boy, and participate, but he might have, to put it crudely, 0.8 votes compared to the mother's 8 votes, 6 votes, whatever. And then we have remuneration based on effort and sacrifice. And that says that people get paid based on how hard they work and how much they give up to get the work done that we've all decided participatorily through the democratic networks what we all want to achieve, what we all want to consume, what we all need in our lives economically. And we determine what we want and what we're going to invest in, how we're going to invest and pay each other to get that through a facilitation board, where instead of representatives and an executive class, you have facilitation and just computer networks, and maybe facilitators instead of representatives who rotate out and can't accrue power, but they facilitate people, and the network just has all the information of what we want and what productive capacity we already have, and where the gaps will be relative to what we want and what we can supply ourselves with. So it tells us, the network can tell us where we need to invest. Yeah, I mean, we all know, like, times are getting quite apocalyptic and fascistic. I don't want to go into that because everyone bangs on that endlessly, and we all have our favorite conspiracy theories, and it proves, we have our litmus tests for whether or not they know about my favorite conspiracy theory or not. I really don't want to get into that. We know times are fucked. We know the system can't allow for us to heal it and heal ourselves. And so if you want a new system, if you want a new methodology that isn't really a system anymore, but is about people and participatory governance and allowing us to be humans on this beautiful, beautiful green earth. If you want to be with and have a crew in life and have, a low cost of living, very low cost of living, 2 meals a day, 3 people cooking for 20 people in the village, $600 a month to live well with car share, boat share, and the bike workshop and the tool library, utilities and a big family plan and cell phone plan. If you want that, let's talk. I put a lot of work into this. It's not half-baked. Hear me out. Thanks so much.